Waymo is stepping into one of the most complex and chaotic urban landscapes in the world, New York City. The Google-owned autonomous vehicle company has already deployed over 1,500 self-driving vehicles across cities like San Francisco, Phoenix, Los Angeles, and Austin, but NYC represents a new level of difficulty. The city's nonstop congestion, unpredictable traffic patterns, and dense mix of vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians pose unique challenges that no other U.S. city truly replicates. That's why Waymo is moving carefully and starting with what you could call a training wheels approach, testing with humans behind the wheel before the tech takes over completely. As it stands, New York state law doesn't allow fully autonomous vehicles on public roads without a human driver present. So Waymo has submitted a formal application to begin testing with human safety drivers in the front seat. While the exact role of those drivers hasn't been clarified, it's expected that they'll mostly act as supervisors rather than operators, ready to take over if needed, but ideally letting the car handle the majority of driving functions. This approach allows Waymo to collect real-world data from New York streets, while also building a safety track record with regulators and the public. This isn't Waymo's first time navigating New York. Back in 2021, the company conducted limited tests in this city, though those vehicles were manually driven by humans. This new push signals a more serious effort to establish a foothold in one of the country's most difficult markets. And while the company hasn't said when it plans to remove the human driver entirely, its ultimate goal is clear: bring fully driverless Waymo One service to New York City. A spokesperson for Waymo recently told Bloomberg that the company is hopeful New York can enact regulatory changes that would allow its driverless services to expand into the city and state in the future. They also added that Waymo is engaged in positive conversations with lawmakers, regulators, and local community groups. This kind of dialogue is critical, not just for getting approval, but for building public trust. Many New Yorkers remain skeptical of autonomous vehicles, especially in an environment as high-stakes and unpredictable as their own streets. Waymo's cautious approach in New York reflects a broader reality for companies working in the autonomous vehicle space. While cities like Phoenix and Austin provide relatively controlled environments for AV testing, wide lanes, fewer pedestrians, consistent weather, New York brings a totally different energy. Cars weave between lanes, delivery trucks double park as a matter of routine, and pedestrians have their own unwritten rules of movement. Cyclists dart between traffic, and construction zones appear overnight. For AVs to succeed here, they need to do more than follow the rules. They need to adapt on the fly, just like a seasoned New York driver would. This move also comes amid a growing race in the autonomous vehicle sector. Tesla, always in the AV conversation, is currently testing its own self-driving systems in Austin. Meanwhile, Amazon-owned Zoox is expanding its reach, recently announcing a new US-based production facility that's expected to produce up to 10,000 autonomous vehicles per year. The AV space is no longer a tech novelty. It's rapidly becoming a full-fledged industry with major players and high stakes. What's interesting about Waymo's strategy is how different it is from Tesla's. While Tesla continues to push its full self-driving beta to customers, often with mixed results, Waymo has taken a more controlled and regulated path. Their vehicles don't rely on owner intervention or beta testers. Instead, they operate in defined zones with high-definition mapping, multiple layers of redundancy, and ongoing human oversight during test phases. In cities like Phoenix, Waymo cars already operate completely driverless, giving real rights to paying customers. The big question now is how fast this model can be replicated in a place like New York. Regulatory approval is one hurdle, but public perception might be just as important. New Yorkers are used to fast-paced, aggressive driving and may be skeptical of a computer that's trained to be cautious and by the book. A driverless car that hesitates in the middle of rush hour, unsure of what to do when a cyclist runs a red light or a pedestrian jaywalks across 4 lanes, could cause more frustration than convenience, at least in the beginning. Still, the potential upside is huge. If Waymo can crack New York, it could likely succeed in almost any city in the world. The city's dense layout also aligns well with shared autonomous transportation, which could reduce the number of vehicles on the road over time. Waymo's long-term vision has always been to offer a safer, more efficient alternative to human driving. With the number of traffic deaths and injuries still high in urban areas, autonomous vehicles could offer a new path forward, if they can earn the trust of those who live there. What's clear is that Waymo is not backing down from the challenge. By beginning with human-supervised driving and working hand-in-hand with regulators and local groups, they're laying the groundwork for something much bigger. The company's ambition is not just to operate in cities that make things easy, but to prove their technology works in the hardest places too. And if all goes well in New York, that could pave the way for a nationwide rollout, with one of the toughest cities in the country serving as the ultimate proving ground.